Hello, everybody. Dorothy Morgan here. We're going to talk about the new moon in Aquarius, which is on January 31st or February 1st, depends on where you live. So let's get started. So that new moon, I'm going to share my screen and give you a look at what that new moon looks like. Here it is at 12 degrees of Aquarius. Now, when we have new moons, of course, everybody loves to do those new moon rituals or intentions, setting things ahead for you, and make sure you use that new moon at the proper time. You don't want to do manifestation type things when the moon is not in her new moon phase. And another important thing about this new moon is it has an eclipse. It triggers eclipses that we have coming up in 2022. And I'm going to talk about all of that and how we want to use that in, the best way possible. So when we have this new moon in Aquarius, as it's making a 90-degree to the eclipse we have on April 30th coming up, one of the important things is that before we get to this new moon, I'm always talking about this anyways, but I want us to make sure that we are processing and releasing the things that we need to let go. Now, especially once the sun is in Aquarius, it's in there now. But once the sun is in the sign of Aquarius, Mercury is retrograde in Aquarius. These are absolutely perfect opportunity periods before we get to this new moon on February 1st to release old ways of thinking and old processes. All right. Things that are no longer useful or necessary in your life anymore, because we really want to start this new moon phase on February 1st in a very productive way. So when we're looking at, this new moon stuff, let me stop my share, this new moon stuff, we're going to start initiating things, setting goals, excuse me, writing, manifesting what it is that we want. And we want to use Aquarius qualities, of course. So what is Aquarius about? It's innovative, it's intellectual, definitely independent, and unorthodox, unconventional, innovative, progressive, all of these fabulous keywords. Use those keywords in your writing of your rituals or, your intentions and your goals. Where do you want to break new ground? Where do you want to find a new way of thinking or meet with new people or find new groups to connect to? Hey, maybe you're the one connecting to new groups or creating new groups, right? Yeah, I don't know. You have to look at what's going on in your own world. So let me share the screen with again, back to the astrology. And I want us to see that, hopefully, if I'm sharing this properly, like right here is the new moon. It's just for my area, it's going to be it could be in a different house. So we won't get hung up on what house the new moon is in this report. It varies from person to person anyways. So this new moon right there was Saturn. Saturn's at a critical degree in the fixed sign of Aquarius, and that 15th degree of Aquarius, it's 45 degrees from the cardinal points. So that creates some stress and some tension. And what does this show? This represents, in the way I see it, the breaking down of the fabric of society. And we've seen it, especially here in the United States. It's happening in other countries in the world. The breaking down of systems that aren't working, the pressure the pandemic has put on all of the systems is showing where there's a lot of weakness and things are breaking down. And whether it's political, social, however you want to look at it. Now, if you're somebody who is an activist, that's Aquarius for sure. You might want to get more involved now in how you want to help the people, the groups that you're interested in, rise above what they need to rise above. And let's look at it personally. We need to do that for ourselves too. Why not? Of course we need to. So with this new moon conjunct Saturn, it's quite intense there because we're having a hard time. This can feel difficult because that fixed air of Aquarius, we're set in our ways, our minds, we're set in our ways, and it's really difficult. And this is also squaring Uranus in Taurus. So very earth. There's a lot of earth in this chart, even though we're talking about an Aquarius new moon, which is air. However, there's a ton of Capricorn and a ton of earth going on here. So we just have so much earth and air in this chart that this definitely is and represents a big shift into something new, because, as we've gone through the last couple of years, just because of the global circumstances that we all find ourselves in, there's this collective shift at what we're focusing on now. And then there's another shift. It's always the main theme, but there's always these collective shifts. And what's important with this, it's quite interesting because, so focusing in on those Aquarian things on a personal level. And I'm going to go through that. My Patreon group will get how we can work with this new moon stuff in each of the houses, so they can like personalize it for their own charts. And you can do that too, but that's for Patreon. You're welcome to join us there. It's a way you can support me. And so thank you if you do. But I also want us to focus as well. And this one is just so big. This happens twice a year, halfway between eclipses. So we are actually 90 degrees. Let me see if I can share my screen again. Here it is. This, I know there's a lot up here, and non-astrologers, don't you worry about a thing. Just listen to what I have to say. Don't get overwhelmed with what you're seeing, okay? I want you to understand everything I just said about the new moon. If you need to hear it again, hit rewind when you're done the recording. That new moon on February 1st is at a 90-degree angle to the new moon solar eclipse that we're having on April 30th. This happens every year. The new moon in Leo, which will be up there is it July or August? I don't know, I haven't looked, but the new moon in Leo will also be at a 90-degree angle to both of these eclipses. Let me clear the drawings and start fresh. So the new moon, February 1st, squares this. This is a North Node solar eclipse, and that means we're bringing in something new. Right now is the trigger for that. It's the activation point of that April 30th eclipse. So that is important. And all the eclipses this year are in the fixed signs, and it's because they're going to be in Taurus and Scorpio, all the eclipses this year. But these are the solar eclipses, and these are about initiating new things. That's why I say, before we get to February 1st, right now, make sure that you are using the waning lunar phase to process and release. So when we get to February 1st, and this new moon will again trigger the eclipse of April 30th, we'll be able to bring new things in that mean a lot to us. Again, Aquarius is a lot of humanitarian things. It's us globally, but we're individuals. Groups are made of individuals, but sometimes Aquarius can't see that. So it's just a reminder. And then, when we have that one in the Leo one, whenever it is, into July, early August, I didn't look, then it will square the South Node eclipse that we'll have October 25th. And that's when we'll be releasing for the year, those processes, whatever we've begun. So you can pull this into personal processes, what's going on personally in your life, and how foundational and structural things have been sort of not feeling great and sort of shifting. What can you do to infuse new energy, new ideas, higher vibrations, just raising your vibration, especially, in the gamer world, I think they call it leveling up. So we've played at this level for a long time. There's no more to learn right here, right now. It's time to step up. Wherever you're at, it doesn't even matter what level you're at, whatever that looks like. We all start somewhere. It is just time to step up, whatever that means to you. All right. And you'll be able to get more personal information about that by looking at, if you know how to read your chart. If you don't, I do sessions too. Come and learn. Hey, I have a new class that starts February 7th. A new beginner class starts February 8th. And I'm doing a lecture on relationships on February 7th. It's online. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern. My website is giving you all the information, DorothyMorganAstrologer.com. Get on my newsletter. I'll send you the notification, all that good stuff. And the written blog is on my website as well. So I send you all of that stuff if you're on my newsletter email list. So come and do that and get a free gift. There's a gift there for you too. All right. That's it for now. Remember, in Buddhist tradition, compassion for yourself first. All right. And then pass it out to others. Don't forget to be as present as possible during all of this, crazy astrological energy and global energy. Always be present as you possibly can. All right, everybody. Blessings. Namaste. Find my way out.